In any physical space, darkness is usually a temporary shadow, but in level 6 of the Backrooms, the absence of light is an absolute structural rule. Photons simply do not exist here. Navigating an anomalous environment typically demands acute visual awareness to identify exits, resources, and threats. This level eliminates that primary sense the exact second a wanderer crosses the threshold. Attempts to introduce artificial illumination consistently fail. The environment neutralizes external tools entirely. Flashlights, chemical glow sticks, and even open flames are rendered completely inert. The physical makeup of the space is known solely through tactile exploration. Wanderers dragging their hands along the perimeter report cold, metallic walls and rough, brick-lined floors. Without a field of vision, drafting a functional map is impossible. The architecture could be a tightly coiled labyrinth or a singular, infinite expanse. There is no visual geometry to measure. This creates a severe spatial hazard. Two wanderers could navigate the exact same corridor, passing within inches, and never register the other person's presence. Level 6 enforces total blindness to strip away standard survival tactics. A wanderer's preparation, equipment, and experience mean nothing when the physical environment refuses to let them see. The absolute darkness triggers a rapid physiological breakdown, shifting the primary threat from the physical environment to the human brain. Desperate for any form of stimuli, the nervous system attempts to compensate. It aggressively heightens the auditory system, searching the pitch black for spatial cues. But instead of environmental feedback, the level offers total silence. The wanderer is left entirely isolated, subjected only to the deafening, echoing sounds of their own respiration and heartbeat. This triggers a condition recognized in clinical settings as sensory deprivation psychosis. Denied external data, the mind struggles to anchor itself, buckling under the sustained nothingness. Explorers report the rapid onset of extreme derealization. A creeping paranoia takes hold, manifesting as an intense, unshakable sensation that unseen forces are observing them from the dark. When the physical world stops providing input, the brain forcefully fabricates its own reality. This psychological decay accounts for the extensive reports of hostile entities in the level, specifically the glowing, grinning figures known as smilers. The prevailing theory among veteran survivalists is that these entities do not actually inhabit the space. They are severe visual hallucinations, generated entirely by a cortex desperate for stimulation. The human mind struggles to process abstract, formless danger. To rationalize the overwhelming terror of the dark, it projects monstrous, recognizable shapes into the void. This creates a lethal paradox. Whether the creature is physical or purely a psychological projection, the adrenaline shock and blind panic it induces are equally fatal. The result is a staggering attrition rate. A vast majority of highly experienced, thoroughly prepared explorers who descend into this level never find their way back out. A self-destructing mind serves as a highly efficient executioner, securing the level's status as a maximum danger zone, even in the absence of tangible monsters. The descent into this void follows a specific, linear path. Wanderers typically enter by traversing downward through the claustrophobic boiler room of level 5. Upon arrival, the environment registers as class pending. This official designation signifies completely unknown safety parameters, an absolute lack of outposts, and total isolation. This diagram illustrates the futility of navigating endless hallways without visual reference points. Any attempt to map a logical route instantly falls apart. The wanderer burns critical energy moving blindly, receiving zero spatial feedback on direction or distance traveled. Level 6 functions as a perfectly engineered containment zone. Stepping into the dark requires no effort at all, but its layout makes deliberate, purposeful navigation physically impossible. Escaping downward to level 7 relies entirely on uncalculated chance. A wanderer must simply keep moving and hope they wander deep enough into the darkness to trigger the transition. A secondary exit mechanism is equally dependent on probability. It requires a wanderer to accidentally trip or stumble, Inadvertently, no clipping through the solid metallic boundaries. The rarest reported exit involves blindly dragging a hand across the metal walls and locating a completely random, invisible doorway hidden within the architecture. Survival in this environment is dictated by stumbling into a statistical anomaly before the isolation shatters your sanity. Level 6 remains an inescapable psychological void, silently consuming anyone who loses their grip on reality.